as the leading platform for building WebAR. Since 2018, hundreds of thousands of experiences have been launched on our platform that have been seen hundreds of millions of times. And we are trusted by major brands and agencies. We're trusted because we have a powerful XR stack. So we have features like image targets, VPS, face effects, world effects, sky segmentation. All of that is our proprietary computer vision stack. We also have a developer-friendly web-based platform. And most importantly, if you know eighth wall, you know that you can deploy to any device that has a browser. So you have true universal reach, and that's why brands and agencies come to eighth wall for WebAR. A little bit more history. Last year, I was on stage announcing the launch of Studio in beta. So you gave us a lot of feedback about missing visual tooling, and that's exactly what we built. So we have a real-time 3D editor that's intuitive and easy to use. And while we were at it, we also launched a free tier. So we are removing barriers for anyone to really get started with WebAR. That was the beginning of a new era for eighth wall. And today I'm going to show you how far Studio has come and how we're tackling some of the biggest pain points in XR development, and we are burning them down. All right, our mission for the next era, make 3D and XR development for everyone. We want to make spatial creation super accessible. And we're doing that by building out a platform that is first powerful. So we are bringing together gaming, XR, geospatial technologies, and we are wrapping them in a real-time visual editor. We're doing that by building a platform that is open and flexible. So we are web-based. You get access to your source project files. We are beginner-friendly, but we do not limit pros. We're also building a platform that is AI-powered. AI is already part of the XR creator process, and we are bringing that into Studio by bringing in generative AI tools into your visual editor workflow. So these are the pillars that are really guiding the way that we're thinking about a new XR stack. Let's talk about what is broken right now in XR development, why we need a new stack. So one of the things that we see is that with a traditional game engine or traditional platform, getting started is a huge lift. So gaming engines can be monolithic. It can be hard to onboard into. They are bloated. You're often needing to duct tape together libraries and plugins for XR. Also, testing and sharing can be a slog. Builds are slow, sharing is clunky, debugging across devices for XR is painful. And so these are the collaboration issues that make iteration frustrating. Third, you are stuck in closed, expensive systems. So each platform wants to keep you on its own island. What you build is non-transferable to other platforms, and then licensing costs are getting more expensive and getting less transparent. So at eighth wall, we are tackling these problems head on. We are building products that respect your time and your creativity and your freedom. And I'm going to show you how we're doing that with eighth wall. All right, first, Studio gives you fast visual prototyping. And I'm just going to go through a bunch of the key features and show you some demos here. So first is the Studio interface. So right off the bat, you get a visual 3D editor that's intuitive. It works the way that you would expect. You have access to your files. You have access to a 3D scene builder. You have access to your component or inspector panel. You also have access to a coding interface. You've got built-in components that you can just drag and drop for working in physics, XR, animations, materials, lighting, et cetera. Everything that you need to get to a V1 quickly. All right, another demo for you. We designed Studio to include XR from the ground up. So it's not a bolted on plugin like you would get in other platforms. The example that I'm showing here is image targets. So we have an image targets feature within Studio. You just need to drag in your image to our image target zone, and then we take care of the technical, building out the tracking for you, and then you are left with a template that you can work with and you can design around. So you design your experience in the viewport. You can preview it instantly. There's no smoke and mirrors with Studio. Your preview is your web app that's just running in the editor. And this is just image targets, but we also have similar features for VPS, for working with face and world effects as well. So for XR development, this is a really seamless way to design and build around XR. All right. New, just launched today, is our Asset Lab. So AI generation is now baked into Studio. With Asset Lab, you can create 3D models, you can create 2D images, you can create models that are rigged and animated. You get access to the latest models like Trellis or GPT Image 1, and this really helps you speed up that early stage ideation. I'm going to plug another talk. My colleagues Casey and Rigel are speaking tomorrow, and they're going to go in more depth on Asset Lab and how you can use AI with Eighth Wall. Very exciting. Okay, so secondly, what else? We have real-time seamless testing and collaboration tools with Eighth Wall. So Studio is like using Google Docs for XR. And here's some more demos for you. I'm going to show you Live Sync. This is integral to how Studio works. The changes that you make in the viewport or changes that you make in our code editor are saved in real time. So you can work across Studio and then see your changes as you are playing your game or your experience. And so you literally can play and build at the same time. You also get access to console, so you can see what's going on in your project as you build and change things around. So super fast to build and test. Another powerful feature of Studio is our XR simulator. So within our simulator, we provide different environments, outdoor and indoor, different ways to control motion, different aspect ratios, so you can test across different types of devices. And then this is how you can test world effects, face effects, VPS, or image targets. If you need to test on device, you just click Connect Device, you get a link. You can send that to a team member, or you can scan a QR code to test on your own device, and then you would watch the logs come in from that device in real time. So this is all baked into Studio. We make it super easy for you to share, let's say, like a new iteration or version with your teammates, and help you debug what's going on in XR. Yeah, so you see here, I've got my device here that's connected in. Source control is also one of my favorite features. It's a great aspect of Studio. It works a lot like GitLab, and it's all baked in. So you can manage your branches. You can start off with your own forked version of a project. You can merge in your changes. You can see code diff between what you are submitting or what another team member has merged. This kind of synchronization is just not a part of other platforms, and we have that very seamless within Studio. So it makes it easy to work across, let's say, a team of people that are all working on the same project and need to get in their changes or need to share across that group. All right. We also have no walled gardens. We're getting claps, great. In terms of our technology, we're open. In terms of distribution, we do not limit you. So let's see a demo here. Just the inherent nature of Studio being a web-based platform and having a built-in code editor, you get access to your source. And we have an open ECS framework So you can build out custom components and custom scripts that are on top of our platform. We also give the ability to bring your own backend. You have the ability to self-host, bring in other third-party libraries. So very flexible with working with Studio and working into your workflow. Publishing is also one click. There's that publish button at the top right. You have the ability to publish to staging or to publish to production, redeploy, backtrack. It's all made very easy in Studio. So again, this is super beginner friendly, but it also doesn't limit pros. All right, this next one is a very big one, my new favorite feature of Studio. Today, we have launched the ability to build a native Android app. So this is in beta. So yes, we are known for WebAR, but now within Studio, you can build your project and you can publish your Android app. So you can have the ability to package it as APK or an app bundle. So you just don't have to choose between web or native. You don't have to know C# or C++. It's all web code. And iOS is coming soon. So it's kind of... Yeah, so we're really excited about what this unlocks. And on other platforms, you do not get this kind of flexibility. All right, recap. Studio is here to kill the friction. We are doing that by allowing you to create prototypes ridiculously fast. So in the time that it takes you to get set up with Unity for XR, you could already have a working XR prototype. It's real time to share and build and work across your team. And then we're open, flexible, and free. And today, including native app export, you have unlimited distribution. All right, that's what I want to leave behind. Yeah, leave behind your bloated legacy XR stack and come over to 8th Wall where it's great. If you haven't tried 8th Wall, now is the time. So you can scan this QR code or you can go to 8thwall.com. It's free to sign up and to start building. And there's one other thing. When I say free, I mean completely and totally free. So you can now launch commercial projects for free on 8th Wall. Right. Other platforms are charging hundreds or thousands a month for commercial projects, and we don't, full stop. So we're removing all the gatekeeping, and we are making XR and 3D development available for everyone. All right, I'm now gonna bring on my amazing colleague, Amanda Blair. You get 2 Amandas today, and our awesome panelists.
All right, thanks so much. Just moving the chairs a bit. It's a little bit more, it's more friendly. We're all friends here. Speaking of commercial projects, I am super excited to bring up a few of our agency partners here. I will quickly introduce them and we'll go through a couple of questions and hear a little bit more about why they're excited about this space and everything that they've built with 8th Wall. So first, Pat Johnson, CEO of Rock Paper Reality over here. Alex Sprott, creative director of Mousepack and co-founder, and then James Roosevelt, director of technology for Trigger. Some applause, please. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to discuss was I would love to hear more about why you guys keep coming back and using 8th Wall for all of your project needs.
Sure, thank you so much. The first thing I think is that it's open, like you guys said. It's free to use, which is cool, but also it's web-based. So you can make an app on an iPad, on your phone, or on a computer. It's all flowing together, it's all saving together, nothing is going onto your hard drive. I think that's really cool. The second thing is the VPS. It's really robust because of Pokemon Go. You guys have scans of pretty much every single monument in America. And if you don't believe me, download the Scaniverse app and just look. You can connect AR experiences to anything on that map, and I think that's really cool.
A lot of the same for us, actually. No surprise there. The support we get with 8th Wall is also tremendous. I think one of the big things we look for in working with software kind of platforms is good documentation. We've had a wonderful experience digging in with the 8th Wall documentation, working with the team when we have questions, so that's truly a highlight. And the rest of the suite of features that 8th Wall makes available are truly amazing. Alex, you mentioned VPS. That's a huge one of the enormous database that exists there. We love all the semantic segmentation technologies, everything else there as well, image tracking, and making that all available on web is awesome. What we like to do is kind of mash up all those wonderful things that 8th Wall does with other pieces of tech out there and really create exciting experiences that way when mixing in kind of open source other pieces of tech with 8th Wall. I think that's where it shines too.
I've got a bonus mic. Should I speak this one? Is it on? Hello? Oh yeah, it does work. We use it because it's objectively the best. Don't even bother going to the other ones. And it's actually true because we have taken all the WebAR platforms that are out there. We have analyzed them deeply, and we have crazy matrices that break them all down. And I think from our perspective, the world tracking is just the best out there when it comes to WebAR. And when that's what our customers want, and even when it wasn't free, they would pay it because they wanted the best world tracking, and 8th Wall provides that.
Thanks so much for all the compliments, and we love to hear that. Since you guys are experts at monetization and selling in commercial projects, I would love if you could give some advice to maybe some companies just starting out or brands looking to get involved in the immersive XR space or gaming space.
Yeah, advice to people starting out is just to build, I think, right? I mean, we all know the secret is that creating good marketing leads to work. So if you have a fun idea, try to get a team together and just crank something out. That's what I would recommend.
I love that idea. Excuse me. Prototype, absolutely, and kind of to plug Studio a little bit here. We're already using Studio in some capacity to prototype stuff even before we see it living elsewhere, maybe before it lives on web in 8th Wall. But to get out fast prototypes of a concept, Studio is a wonderful tool to do that. So always prototype. The other thing I'd recommend is think about the purpose of what you're building. The point of building something for the sake of having something in AR is a thing of the past. People are looking for purpose and ROI in the experiences being built, and purchases, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that one as well. I think AR used to be able to lean on it being new and buzzy and exciting, and no one's going to pay for that anymore. At least if they are, then keep going back to that customer. But we're not finding them anymore, and it really has to be value. And you're going up against the incumbent, and it has to be able to demonstrate now that you're going to be able to provide more value, more ROI, and I would just try to find a niche. Like, there's so many things that you can do with 8th Wall, but if you're just starting out, just find the thing that's right for your skill set, the customers that you're going to target, and try to find a problem to solve or real value to add, and start there.
That's great advice. Thank you. I guess we're kind of running out of time, but my last question would be, I would love to hear any highlights from this past year, 2024, about a client project that you've worked on from an experience that you built using 8th Wall.
Yeah, a really cool one my team launched was at Coachella for the Artist of the Weekend. We partnered with Worlds and the innovation team there, and the artist loved it. Like, we have videos of him like giddy and happening and opening it up. We launched it on the Ferris wheel, if anybody has been, so there's a QR code activation there. And it was perfect because people are in there and they're like, what's this QR code? And they kind of have to, at some point, scan it. So the numbers were great and people loved it.
I'm bummed I missed that. That sounds cool. Ours was also event-based, so this is going to be a mouthful. Apologies ahead of time, but we built a kind of wayfinding experience for the BNP Paribas Open, which is a huge tennis tournament out in Palm Desert over the course of 2 weekends. So I mentioned kind of the mashup of technologies earlier, and I think this executed that really, really well. We used traditional GPS. We took in many live data feeds to display scores and things like that over the actual stadiums where the tennis matches were happening. we're mixing in things like points of interest for merch and food and restrooms, kind of all this going on. And then if that wasn't complex enough, we decided to add in sky segmentation to add a whole bunch of amazing 3D to the experience to kind of round it out all across the board. So super excited for that one. We're hoping to bring it back next year and just make it bigger and better, but some really, really fun challenges to solve in that project, and it truly shined.
We have a project that we did with McCain. They do French fries. In fact, 1 out of 4 French fries that you will have eaten is a McCain French fry. But they're getting into regenerative farming, and that's the story that we are trying to tell for them. Is in the next 10 years, how are they going to? What is regenerative farming? Why is it important? And what does it look like in practice? And so we built a multi-level AR game that tells the whole story. You've got drones coming in, killing weeds. You got cows coming out, doing what cows do on the field. And it tells the whole story and why it's important. And the thing that I really liked about it as well is I really love AI avatars. We work a lot with InWorld. And we had a farmer that was on the top that you could talk to, and it tells you about the farm, and then you could go down into the soil and talk to the worm, and it's all AI generated. And so it was educational, but then you could play the game and then talk to the worm, talk to the farmer, and it was all integrated into the same experience, all running on 8th Wall.
Very cool. And also, these are just snapshots of a few experiences of the many that they've created. So I highly encourage you guys to go to our websites, their websites. It'll all be up there. The last question I would ask is, what are your clients excited about in 2025 when it comes to the XR space? And maybe that's a little bit more of a nuanced question, but would love to hear, for the audience, some trends that are out there.
People want to get outside. I think Patrick's example of his little worm thing was really cool because there's a bunch of screens, and it's when you walk into it, like you're truly immersed in the space. Magic mirrors didn't quite catch on, but the interest is there. There's so many people that want to do something at a retail or a storefront or something where people physically go to it.
I think for me, it would be probably 2 things. I'll go for the cop-out answer really quick, which is purpose and ROI is what they always want. I think this is going to be a breakout year for VPS, and I hope it is. And I feel like I've been saying that for a while, but I am seeing really cool and more VPS experiences get built. We're a part of that trend at Trigger, and we're really happy to be championing it, and I think we'll see more of it.
Yeah, those are good ones. At RPR, we do our 3 main ones are games, events, and work. And I think events is going to be a big one. We're going to continue to think about how you can get personalization inside of events. The AI photo booth, for example, we're doing a lot of personalization stuff there. And I'm still going to keep playing with these AI avatars because people really love them, and they're kind of easier to deploy and they're fun. But I'm kind of just excited to see what we can do with personalization and engagement and to push sharing with Gen AI, and there's some things we're kind of tinkering with at the moment that I'll be excited to share soon.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining the panel and to our panelists, and thank you so much for everyone who came. Really appreciate it. We'll be outside if you have any questions. We're happy to hear from you. So thanks so much.